Pusher, you are moving with purpose. You are speaking with purpose. Pusher, we are healing out loud with you. Don't stop, push you forward. Don't stop sharing your truth. Continue to trust God and believe in His plans for you. Pusher, we are healing with you. We see you.
Hello, hello, hello. It is not your girl Pusher, but still, if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. Say it with me. Forward ever, backwards never. Have you gotten your copy of It Takes One to Know One or People Pusher? No. If you didn't, travel on over to pusherlife.org and get your copy today. Remember to share this link, like, and subscribe. I am holding a place for the People's Pusher and her guest. I'm your guest host, Kawana Prince. And once we get our guest for today on, we will get started. All right, good people. All right, we are waiting for people to log on for today's discussion, and we're waiting for her guest. Um, yeah, things happen sometimes. I'll just sit here and I'll talk to the people, to the community for a while. Um, and the People Pusher is unavailable because she's still working. So this is the last minute thing. So I know everybody didn't get your link buttons. But if somebody is on, if you would pass the word that we are having the show, because I'm sure she didn't get to send it out today. So I might keep putting my glasses on because I can't see what's going on. But the lights are blinking in it. Okay. Don't see anybody as of yet, so I will just wait a while. And when somebody is here in the community, let me know that you have tapped in and we will start the discussion for today. They said I couldn't, so I did it. I love it. We are having a little technical difficulties right now, so I'm going to mute the screen for just a few seconds. Nobody's in yet, but We're going to act like it's a million people on. So stand by. Okay, we're into our technical difficulties here. I'm trying to get things together. So I'm waiting for test. Okay. Okay, I think I can see. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I see people are on most definitely. Um, we are here and we are waiting. Can you guys hear me? Can somebody let me know if you can hear me or not? I can see. I can see you too. So can y'all hear me? Hey, Lori. Yes, we can. Okay. All right. So everybody is here and we can hear me. Um, welcome to the Pusher Show. I am not the people's pusher, um, but I am her stand-in for today because she is indisposed. So I am not sure if I'm seeing her guests show up. So I'm going to talk to the chat for her time since we are here. And the today's topic is you said I couldn't, so I did. Wow. Um, if the young lady joins us, then we're gonna proceed with her. But for now, since we just got the chat here and I'm here and we're logged on for the next hour we're together, somebody have any questions or something, or somebody have something that you want to share? Um, this is the People Pusher Show, and we are still healing out loud. Even in the pusher's absence, we are all here in the house to make sure that the boat still continues on to its destination as smoothly as possible. So I think I can see some people. Hi, Deftone. Yes, absolutely. That's my church buddy. I can't wait to go to church and sit by him. Lori, I see you too. Raven, hi, Aunt Etta. I see you guys are here, here, here. Um, Let me do this. Have you gotten your copy of It Takes One to Know One or People Pusher? If you have not, go over to pusherlife.org and get your copy and tap in. Or you go to the pusherlife.org and go and tap in and become one of the million people who are healing out loud. Sign your commitment letter. It is totally personal. She won't share your information with anybody. It's easy to do. You just answer a couple of questions of things that you want to do for yourself, and then you join us as we all are healing out loud. It's an amazing journey. I am totally 100% a part of this journey. I am certainly healing out loud in all of my personal and my business relationships, and it's been amazing. It's been heavy sometimes, but it's been amazing. Yeah, it is a good topic. I can't wait. I can't wait. Lori got her copy. I want to hear what the guest has to say. That's like the highlight of when I tune into the show. When the pusher and the guests are communicating, it's like you're here, you're with them. It feels like you're in a room sometimes. You feel all of the raw emotions that come across through the conversations. Um, you just can feel it, and I love it. That's why I tune in to watch and to listen to see what's happening next on the show. I'm trying to read, and I see what she. This is hard work. So the push is really advancing in everything that's happening in this community. This is not easy to get on this thing um, and broadcast. This is not an easy thing. It's a lot of technical things, and she is doing it. And I'm so proud of her. She's handling it. She's learning how to do all these different types of things. So um, let's try to touch the topic. You said I couldn't, so I did. Um, we could go a lot of different places with that. So I'm gonna talk to the community. Anybody have a testimony or witness to something that somebody told you you couldn't do, but you did it anyway? Let's talk about it. Let us talk about it. So y'all can go ahead on and write it in the chat. I'm gonna keep my glasses on so I can read that as I am paying attention to staying on this right camera. Carlita is bad. She can handle all of this, but uh yeah, she's good. So nobody's talking to me yet out there in the chat community. So now I have to do what I do. Just talk. So you said I couldn't, so I did. That is like a statement for those of us who persevere. There's a whole bunch of general things that we can talk about that people say that we couldn't, so we did. Society says that the pusher spent all that time in prison, that she shouldn't be out doing the things that she is, but she's doing them, all of them. That's like uh, a big one to discuss. Society, when society says that you can't, are we willing to stand up and do it anyway? I'm trying to read the text, the chat. I'm sorry, y'all. Mm-mm-mm. And dead. Period and dead. So what'd you do? Who is this, Shamel? Period and dead. Okay. You want to tell us a little bit about what you did? Everybody's reading the chat. Nobody's really looking at me. We are all in the chat waiting for the lines to move. All right, then. Hello, Cynthia. How are you today? Oh, yeah. Yeah, she did that. She did that. She did all of that. And she's out now. She's not here. Another uh, disclaimer for everybody who's just tuning in: the pusher is indisposed right now. She's still working, so I have stepped in. She has a guest, but I'm not sure how to get to the guest, so I'm sorry, you guys. But we are going to have a topic tonight. Maybe I should just let her because the chat is not responding to it. So maybe we're gonna let them have that one. You said I couldn't, so I did. And wait for the guest that is designed to speak on that topic. So this is an open forum. Y'all tell me what you want to hear me talk about, and I'll ramble on until our time is gone. I most certainly will. While I have you here, just to talk a little bit about the Pusher community and how it works with Global Butterfly Effects community and all of the other Leagues of Baltimore, Pivot. These are all different villages, different groups of people who find it not robbery to come together and make a community. That's how it's supposed to be. So it used to be you in your little towns and people grow up in your own little space, and then when you go to school and you get with everybody from all the spaces, you make community. So we're doing that, and I think it's amazing. I'm honored to be a part of it. Um, just my little corner here in Texas is just a blessing to see how when people just come as you are, state what you need, and work on what you want to get. And it's a beautiful thing, and you help somebody else along the way, and it's a very beautiful thing. What did Wani do? They said you couldn't. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm from the inner city. She asked what it says what did Wani do that they said that she couldn't. Um, Grew up and born and raised in Baltimore City, and they say that most of us won't leave the city, that we'll be stuck there, and that we won't accomplish too many things in life. That's what they said, but I didn't. I did exactly the opposite. Just grew up and flourished, had a family, and I'm still growing and learning today. So that's one thing they said that I couldn't do, and I did. Hi there, Push the Community. Hello, Rhonda. How are you today? Yeah, y'all, this thing is hard. This is harder than you sit there and we watching the screen. When you got to come up here and you got to have it going, it is not an easy thing at all. Great. That's great to hear, Rhonda. Rhonda's great. I'm not gonna waste this time. We have like a little bit of more time. We got to get some kind of point or something that we can do to heal our life. We can even talk about the old shows um, that were up before. We can discuss any of those things. Um, Carlita has a new book coming out. It's on her website. If you go to it to put your name on the wish list, you'll be one of the first ones to grab that copy. It will be out day, any day now. So make sure you get that one. It is the other two kind of whet your fancy, but this one gives you all the details of all the things that you probably were wondering from reading the other ones. She kind of goes into details with some of those scenarios that she speaks about. And I think it's a beautiful thing to see all of those things that she's writing about. She lived them, and then what she's doing today. I think that is, you have to be blessed by God to be able to turn around like this. What was something that you had to persevere through in your life? What else? Okay, I have a good one. I was in my 20s and I was working in corporate America, and I was a young African American young lady, and I worked for a company that did a lot of work with the federal government. And when I would go to meetings or go to events, I was kind of intimidated because I was kind of the youngest and darkest person always around the table. And it was very intimidating. And I didn't have all the support from the people who were sending me out, but I'm no quitter and I'm not a loser. So they treated me like I couldn't, and they held contracts back and all of those things. But I kept pushing, and I was determined. I learned the craft, and then I was the person who they called on. They said I couldn't play that game, get into that game, but I did. And not only did I do it for them, but then I started my own company and I did it for myself. So that is something that they said that I couldn't do in corporate America. I did that thing with the help of the Lord. What did Global Butterfly, the company, say you couldn't do? Um, wow. Okay. Global Butterfly, the company. Well, first of all, they said, girl, you crazy. Everybody publishing their own books out here. Nobody's going to pay you to do what they can do. Well, that's what they said. But I did it, and people are, so it is working. That's another thing. They said I couldn't do. They said actually said I shouldn't do, but I did it anyway. Where did you get the "I'm not a quitter" mentality? Okay, it might be in our DNA. I'm not sure where that comes from, but I'm just a winner, and especially when I got connected to God, and the main thing that I take away is we are victorious, we are winners. So I look for a win every day. I look for a win every day, and I keep going, and I don't stop until mission is accomplished. Whether it's a fail or a win, as long as it's complete, I learn my lessons later. Um, I guess I was raised with that. All of us have that. We're gonna do it and do it until we can't, until we get it done. Lori says, what started your passion to write, and how did you become a company? Okay, well, we're gonna talk about global butterfly effects. Okay, so in 2016, I was going through a lot of issues with my personal life. Um, and I actually moved to a different state. And while in that state, I was challenged. Somebody dared me to write a book, and they gave me the topic and told me because they had written a book, and if I could do better, do it. So I took the dare because I'm not a quitter. I took it, and I wrote this book. I wrote the book in like a weekend. And so I printed it out and I gave it to everybody that I was working with at the time. And I got a lot of people come that came back and said, this is really good. You need to keep going. You need to write it. You need to make this a book. So in 2016, I figured it out. I read everything that Amazon had. I read everything to do with publishing. I took a couple classes, and then I wrote part two. Those books were secular fiction books. They were erotica. Um, and one day, before the pandemic, the Lord said to me, write a book for me. So, after hearing him and crying and complaining about, I don't know how to write a real book like that, I actually did it. I started Sister Faith's Diary. Um, and it was a success as well. The people who I was with around, everybody purchased it, and people had good reviews. And then I stopped writing. I was trying to continue on in Sister Faith, but I couldn't get it for years and years. I did that in 2019. So from 2019 until 2023, I just was trying to write every day, trying to get something done, trying to get a book finished, and I couldn't. Don't know why. I did it like a job. I would go in my office and I would sit there and try to create this book that God was looking for. And so I'm still trying to beat that book out, but it'll come. I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna give up. But one day I was frustrated and I asked God, I don't know what you want me to do. I set up here. I got these books. I don't know what I'm doing. Um, I thought you wanted me to write for you, and I said I'm not going to do anything else until I'm clear on what you want. And I promise you, the next day I woke up. I promise you, the next day I have witnesses. There are witnesses for every time God moves. He leaves a witness. I got up the next day, and before my feet could hit the floor, I heard Publisher 2023. I heard it just as clear as day. So I got up, fixed my office. Instead of being an author, I am now a publisher. Took those classes. Just, never really talked to anybody about it. Just did the background work. And when I was ready, Carlito was actually my first book. When I was ready and my environment was ready, she just mailed me her journal, and she mailed it to me not to have it as a book, but she wanted to share with me what she wrote about while she was incarcerated. So when she sent it, this is how God works. When she sent it, I was home alone all night. I was home alone. I think my husband's out of town, and I read it the first night. I read it three times the first night, and I didn't understand why. I kept reading it, and then by the third time, I was like, maybe this is a book. So when I was excited, the next day I called her. I said, this is a book, and she was all with it, and we did it. And it's The People Pusher. It Takes One to Know One. That was the first book that I have published outside of mine as a publisher, and from that book, I figured, we were working on her next book, People Pusher. I figured maybe I'll start publicity. I'll start doing things online. I'll start, telling people. And God told me that He wouldn't work for me that way. So I didn't. I was like, okay, let me figure out how I can get to the next person. And before I had wrote me a list of people that I was gonna talk to. And before I get to my list, God started sending people. So I had Carlita, and then I had like two more, and then when those were almost done, I had like two more. So now I'm working like 4 and 5 at a time. And so I just want to say, if you hear God talking to you, and I'm gonna tell you, I had problems the whole time trying to figure out new things and things that I didn't know and I didn't learn. And you get so frustrated, it makes you want to stop and want to quit. It's easier to quit. But I'm gonna tell you, when God says something, nobody can tell you otherwise. They can say you can't all they want to, but if He says it that you can, and you will. So that is my testimony for how I started Global Butterfly Effects. And now we have, I think we have like 12 authors now. We have books coming out. They like one every 2 months. We have a new author coming out, or a new work that's coming out. So yeah, that is how Global Butterfly Effect started. Share that. That's legit. Okay. So that's enough about me. I want to talk to the community. I want to know. Give me a hot topic, and we can talk about for 15 minutes here. That's really decent. Yes. Yes. That's God. He is amazing. And if I don't have anything else to say, I could say that all day. That He is amazing, that He is a miracle worker, and that if anybody says that you couldn't, if you're connected to God, that you can. And if you're connected to God, you will. You must. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. So, my husband and I also breed dogs. So, I'm sorry that my background noise is barking. It is doggy time. How do you hear God? Okay, that's a great question, Lord. So, okay, so there are several ways that you can hear God. I have no Wi-Fi. If someone follows, share, please tell me her to check her email. So, okay, Carly's talking to me. So yeah. So how do I hear God? So at first, when I first gave my life to Christ, the one of the first classes and stuff that I went through was prayer, how to pray, how to properly pray. So I did the class on prayer, and then we just learned how to talk to God. I had to talk to Him first in order um, for me to even try to accept to hear. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see what the pusher is saying. Um, okay, I don't see anything on my email. Okay, so what happened was I did the classes on prayer, and I began to communicate with God first. I began talking to Him. Um, Dog in the back, like the pusher now. Yes, he is. He's 167 pound cane corso. So um, so yeah, I took those classes in prayer, and learned how to communicate to God. And at first I didn't hear anything, I didn't hear anything back. I didn't know what I was supposed to hear. I was waiting for that big loud voice to say, "Yes, my daughter, I am here." I never heard that, never heard anything like it to this date. But what started to happen is, the more that I prayed, a personal prayer time. I set a time aside in the morning, and I would pray. And it was just time for me and God. And the more that I prayed, the more I could just feel Him. just feel like you're led to hear something. So I could go throughout my day and somebody might say something. I might read the scripture and the scripture would speak to me. Somebody would come from out the blue and just answer a question that I had for God just off the bat. So he uses people to speak. I will hear messages at church, the preachers, and all these things are his voice. Um, and then once our relationship started to grow and I started to try to get a deeper understanding through his word, the word will speak to us if you read it, and questions that you have, even if you're reading and it's not making sense, if you want to hear from God and you read it, it'll start making sense. So what happened was, to begin to get your relationship good, he'll use anything. So he uses nature. Once you get a relationship, God shows you how he's going to communicate with you. So it's not really a verbal ear thing that I hear, but it's the verbal inside that I hear. And it doesn't speak to me every day, like all the time, but when it gives me instruction, that same voice speaks. And that's how I know it's God. And then how I learned that, the first time I heard it, he told me to do something major, make a big move. And I was afraid, but I have this relationship with God, and it felt like him. Okay, God, I'm doing it. So I did it, and he has had me ever since. He has had me ever since. So once you get your relationship, you will learn how to hear him, because he's speaking to everybody all day, every day. But we just have to learn how to tune into our frequency to hear him back. If that makes any sense, Lori, I hope I helped you with that. So start with prayer and read your word. People say, I'm a Christian, I go to church and I do these things, or I'm connected to whatever, that you're connected to your higher source. But if you don't learn about it and get into it intentionally, and whatever it is, it could be anything, whatever your language is that you speak for your spiritual life. I am a Christian. I believe that Jesus died on the cross for my sins and he was raised on the third day. So I am a winner. So whatever they said that I couldn't do, I can, because he did that. So whatever your spiritual makeup is, and we all should have a spiritual connection, you just have to learn it. It's like a relationship. You don't just meet a person and be like, yay, we besties, No, you get to know them. They get to know you. You share time together, you share space together, and then that's how you grow into a relationship. You can hear that person even when they're not around. If you have somebody that you're close to and you have a good relationship with, you might be in a situation and you will hear them even when they're not around, because maybe they said it so many times or they didn't. They keep telling to you. So this is the same way with God. You have to get into that relationship with him, that personal. You have to give him some time for real. And people say it all the time. I hear all the preachers, you got to read your word, but it's the real truth. If you don't, it's going to be something missing. It's going to be that disconnect. So the Bible, people say the Bible was written by man. Yes, it was. And it was inspired by God, just like the things that we do today are by us, but some of them are inspired by God. But you have to read it because there are some instructions inside, and it's a spiritual book. It's a spiritual um, work, and so it works for different things at different times, and people hear it and perceive it in different ways. And God's spirit knows how to get us to get the portions that we need for whatever. But it's in the book. So I'm telling you, they got the book on. You can for free. You can go on one of these apps and you can just hear it. Do it while you're driving, when you're just sitting around. Just play the word. And I promise you, if you listen to it enough and you hear it enough, it'll begin to get into your spirit and you will begin to spiritually, your spirit will waken up. You'll hear things that you didn't hear before. And I'm just crazy to believe that it is God speaking. And I'm gonna tell you, it never ever led me astray yet. Never. So yeah, that is listening and hearing God. I don't even know how we got there, but thank you. Yeah, it's just like any other relationship. Switch. What are the thoughts on the juvenile justice system? And this is for the whole community. And how does it impact your life? Wow. Okay, she did the switch. And it says, what are the thoughts on the juvenile justice system? And this is for the whole community. And how does it impact your life? Well, I'll start in community. Y'all think about it, and you put your messages in the chat, and I'll read them out loud. I have my glasses on. I'm keeping them on so I can see. Um, so the juvenile justice system, most of the systems in our country are failing right now, if I can say that, and that just be my personal opinion. A lot of things are repairing, but a lot of things have fallen to the wayside, and our children are one of the major things that is happening. And this juvenile justice system is designed for our babies to have like a prerequisite for the real justice system, for real prison. And it's like they're setting it up, almost designing it to kind of push cattle our kids through it. I think it impacts all of us, because we always say our children are our future. The children are our future. Well, our leadership is slim picking because the juvenile justice system is making sure that they get our babies and they wrap them up so that they will try to hinder their future. So I'm praying that when this system is set up to so they won't, that God's word and His power will still go forth, so they will become successful adults, and they will bypass the justice system in that manner. Rhonda, did you have any comments on the juvenile justice system since you brought that topic up? Something in detail that you wanted to pull out? And then there's time to type. So, yep, the juvenile justice system. It's sure we need to get involved in our community. Things that are going on in your each individual community. Because I'm in Texas, so the systems are kind of set up different. Um, in Texas right now is not even the juvenile justice system is not even discussed much. It's the border that's happening here. So that is it for that. I'm trying to amen, amen, amen. Yeah, the Bible app. So yep, High Def was sharing with us is the Bible app that you can download into your phone. It's free, and you can hear the word. So back on the publishing, I'm just this is me just talking. I'm crazy enough to believe when God said publisher and people were coming, and the different people that I have met through this journey, I am thinking that just like the Bible, all the different writers of the Bible, what they did, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they wrote down their experiences of a certain time. And then some theologians came and they grabbed all of them and they put them together, and God breathed on it, and we still use that Bible. Every spiritual institution uses that as the basis. So there is something about it. I am crazy enough to believe that in today, the day that we live in today, on this side of the cross, I've met all of these amazing people, and it feels like if I could gather all of these stories from all of these amazing people, how they overcame, how they went through life in these devastating times. If I can collect all of those stories and put them together, and maybe 100,000 years or so down the line, somebody might put those things together and teach the next dispensation how to get by, how to live, how to make it when times is hard, you know, how to heal, not just out loud, but period, how to heal. Most of the grandmas are gone, and the praying grandmothers and the ones that wailed, and nobody's praying for our babies anymore. So I think collecting these things from these different God's amazing people, and we put them together, somebody one day will wake up and they'll use it even at long after we're gone. Once you put in the written word. So if you have something that God put on your heart that you feel strongly about, that you think that the words that you have to say about it can make a difference, call me up and we'll talk about it. We'll map it out. We'll put it together because the world needs to hear it. We have some powerful people in the small communities. They're not global yet, but if they stick around long enough, we're gonna make them global because we have things that people need. And Carlita always say we're not gatekeeping the information because some people gatekeep the information. They want to keep it for themselves so that they can say you can't because they think they can. But I know that we can. So if you have something that's burning in your heart, something, a topic that you just really feel passionate about, we can put that down. We're about to do a collective work in a book. There's going to be a topic, and we're going to have a couple of people write to it, and and then we're going to publish it, and then those people will be able to do, so just look out, gbecommunity.com. Just keep looking and see what we have coming up. We got some exciting things to do, but I'm still on this learning how to publish these books, and the people are still, God is sending the flow, so I have to keep with that. But as we grow, we have new departments that are coming. But if you have something, sure enough, hit me up and we can talk about it, discuss how to bring it to the masses, because some of the books that people are writing, and we do fiction too, but most of them are books that'll help us live better lives, help us heal from past traumas. There's a book on meditation. I have an author that's incarcerated, and he wrote a book on how to properly prepare for parole. It's just the people are doing some amazing things. And when Carlita was first in prison, it was time to do a parole packet. If we had his book, it wouldn't have took us so long to figure out how to put them together. So if you know somebody that might be in need of that, his name is Jason Walls, Dr. Walls. Do you still need people for the collective book? Yes, absolutely, I do. I do. And the topic, I'm going to give the topic to Carlita so she can put it out on the show. And I'm going to look for some feedback from the community. And that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to put that together, and you will be a co-author in a book. So if you're interested, y'all can go to the website. Just send me a little message anywhere where it says contact, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We have 15 more minutes to go. Um, I am still reading these. Amen, amen. Yeah. Okay. So yes, those are the things that are happening. So if you know of someone that is looking to write a book, a lot of the people that I'm working with now have been working on their book for 10 years, 20 years, and just never had the next step, didn't know how to connect the dots to finish it. So I guess this is what God has called for us to do, to make sure that we get to the finish line. And it's a good journey. We have a good time. It's not just business meetings. We have real sit down discussions, and God is involved in everything. So you never know what He does in any of our sessions. So it's amazing with these authors that God has sent this way. Um, I'm still not seeing. Okay, and she said, I looked at my message. I don't see it. Okay, so we have 15, 14 minutes, and we are going to wrap things up here. And Pusher will be back her normal time next week. Prayerfully with that guest. We had so much technical difficulties. I don't know if she was just trying to get in a way that I didn't know how to do it. So you can blame me for that. But Pusher will be back, and I'll be excited to hear where this topic goes. And somebody says, "Tell me about your dog service. Are you selling them? How do I buy them?" She is a Laura. You are a plug, girl. I'm curious, where did the name for the company come from? Because if anybody knows the dynamics of butterflies, they know that the name is very illuminating. Okay, so I think Pusher's here. So Laura, yes, we breed King Corsos and XL Bullies. You can reach it. You can go to rskranch.com, and you can find out all about what we do with the dogs and things like that. Global Butterfly, the name came from during the pandemic. It was nothing to do, so everybody was on social media, and social media was really getting on my nerves because everybody was putting their opinions out, and there's just so many fights on social media. And so I did connect to two ladies, one that was in Washington State and one that was in Texas. At the time, I was in San Antonio, Texas. And we just made a little group, and we would just talk once a week. And then they invited people, and then they just grew, and so then we started a little online book club. And because it was people were coming from all over, that's where the global part comes from. Butterflies are just my absolute favorite thing in the world, books and butterflies. And God has talked to me about my spiritual life using the metaphor of the butterfly. So I love it. And so that's where I merged those two things together, and that's where the name came from. And it really started out being just a hey, Siobhan, it just started being it was just a little thing that we got together, but I kept it, and now it is a publishing company. So yeah, um, that is how that happened. Pusher is here. Hey family, can you still not hear Pusher? Can you? Oh, somewhere to go. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Rhonda and High Def and Lori and everybody for talking me through this. I appreciate y'all. That is how the community works. Um, yeah, because this feels like a hot seat over here. So kudos and hats off again to Carlita um, for being able to hold this down every week. Every week. It is not an easy thing. Thank you. Your support is well appreciated. Pusher, are you here and you can type in the text in the chat? No? Okay. So we are now, look, I'm just buying my time. Anybody have any? Yes, I'm here. Would you like to say something to the community? We watching you in the chat and I'll read it out loud. So while she's probably typing, um, you're doing a great job. Thank you. See, the pusher says she appreciates us all for pushing forward. Girl, you taught us well. You teaching us well. We are on this path together. We walk together. Um, yep. Thank you, Lori. That's what we do. Um, this is the butterfly effect at its finest. Forward ever, backwards never. Yes, absolutely. They are saying it. Pusha, you will be so pleased. I did the commercial before we started. Mm. Yes, everybody is saying it out loud in all caps. Forward ever, backwards never. So that's why I'm here stumbling along because push is not going back. We are going to continue pushing forward. Next week she'll be back. So just do me a favor. And while I got you here, I can do this because I can. She gave me the mic and she can't stop. So while everybody's here who can hear, I will go Cherie on next week prayerfully. Yes, she'll have Cherie on next week prayerfully. So while we're here, everybody that's on here, I'm gonna ask you to do me a favor. I'm gonna ask you because you come every week. I'm gonna ask next week that you ask somebody to come. Let me tell you how this works, and this is the butterfly effect. And this, when I was um, honored by being a guest on the People Pusher show, I did a thing. It was an experiment to see if this butterfly effect thing works. So what I did was I went just to my main people, my friends, the ones that they hold you down, and I just went to them and I asked them, log on here for me because I'm gonna be on this show and I need you to come and log on and listen. And then what I need you to do is I need you to invite some more people to come on to the show, and I need them to listen to it with you. And just do me that favor. And my people came through and they did it. And so I need us to do that too. The regular community that comes, we come every Wednesday. This way we meet. I don't see my kids and my mom or my aunt Etta until I come on the chat. That's the only way I talk to them. At least I know I'm seeing them once a week. We all meet at the chat. So next week, if you would, just those people that rock with you, the ones that they down for you, whatever. Ask them, come on the show. Listen to this show that I'm interested. This is a thing that I'm doing. I show up weekly to support a community member. And if you're getting anything out of it, the thing is to share it with somebody else so that they can get something out of it. And the only way that the pusher is going to go and be who God called her to be on the grand stage that she's supposed to, we have to push her. So I'm going to ask that everybody that's on here today, and the people who are going to watch later on, next week when we come, I need us to hit higher numbers. I need you to invite people, pay them, do whatever you got to do, but we need the higher numbers to show up. Now, Pusha might not do this; she doing her thing, but I'm asking that we support her in that way. We have nailed it. We show up. We nailed that. We do that. We get all the hats off, kudos, pats on the back. We here participating in the chat. Oh, we knocked that out the park. We participating in the chat. Backwards, forward, ever, backwards, never. We are here. We talking to each other. But I'm gonna ask us to we didn't like and subscribe. I hope you like today's one. Not because I'm talking, but because she needs those numbers to keep increasing. So like it, please. I see 2 likes. I got my glasses on. I see 2. I need the number to go up because we have more than 2 people on right now. And then if you haven't subscribed, I need you to hit the subscribe button and subscribe. And then we most of those we take care of those, but the next part, this might take some effort. This is really pushing when you have to take effort. Invite somebody to come. Make sure you send them the link. Ask them, talk to them, not just links, because people don't do that. Everybody don't just click every link we see. So call them and make it personal. I need you to come on and show me. I'm gonna show you the butterfly effect. This is the butterfly effect. Every little thing that we do can have a huge impact. Every little thing. So this little thing for the pusher, if you appreciate her time that she put in, the love that she's sharing, the help and support that she's given. If you appreciate that, I need you to just do this one step. Ask some people to come. This week, I'm going to ask you just one person. If you only have one person that rock with you like that and trust you and join the show, something ain't right. You got to heal a little more. But I need you to do it. Invite one person to join. So when the pusher comes on next week, her numbers should triple. Because everybody's going to do this, and we're not just going to stop at asking one person. We're going to ask many more. I know we are. But have to go, family. Church about to start. See you next week. See you, Rhonda. Make sure you invite a person to come back with you next week. Thank you for all your help tonight.
It is your girl Pusher. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, really say that thing out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. Have you gotten your copy of It Takes One to Know One workbook and journal and people pusher? No, then travel over to pusherlife.org, go to the author's page, and you will find It Takes One to Know One and People Pusher. Come tap in.